and welcome to Secret to Success. Today we have Manqoba Zungu, who's a senior manager at Deloitte. Hello Manqoba.
Hi, Ole.
How are you?
Very well, thanks for yourself.
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's such an honor to have you on Secret to Success. So, tell me about Manqoba. Like, who are you? Tell me about your journey. I mean, you've got a lot of accolades. You're currently doing your MBA at Gibbs. You've got an undergrad in accounting, but take us through your journey.
Manqoba was born in the dusty streets of Umlazi in 1986, March the 18th. I'm a Pisces. I grew up in Umlazi up until the age of about 10, when my parents decided to then shift us over to what was called the suburban areas in the Queensborough suburb. I then studied at Queensborough Boys High, and I matriculated in 2003. At Queensborough Boys High, I started seeing a formation of some leadership traits, where I captained the school soccer team, I played first team cricket, I was the SRC vice chairperson, I was a prefect.
It's jazz today, because you know.
I don't know why they chose me, but yeah. So I think, and even I played football outside of school. So I played club soccer, and there I used to be captain as well. And to me, it didn't really mean much up until I finished matric, and I went for an interview at Deloitte for a bursary. And because I obviously didn't have any job or work experience, they honed in a lot on these achievements that I thought were just extramural activities. And to them it showed that there were leadership skills, that I could work in a team, and so that's where sort of my appreciation of then the leadership skills and the teamwork started to grow. Beyond that, I then studied at University of KwaZulu-Natal. I studied accounting, and my journey into accounting wasn't really planned. It was because I was very good at mathematics and I was very good at accounting. I think I got A's for both subjects, and I knew that it was one of the requirements at UKZN. So because I did well in those subjects and I enjoyed them, I don't want anything very difficult. At least that's what I thought.
Oh, hello, maths. Okay,
that's what I thought.
Of course, Manqoba.
And then I got accepted into UKZN. And then, sure, to my surprise, it was difficult. But thankfully, I met really good friends, which is something I really value and really treasure. You know, the importance of really sound friends. One of them is still my best friend till today. He was the one that said to me, look, because I didn't have a bursary for the first 6 months. And I used to do a lot of public speaking at the time. And I used to tell the story that I thought that we were quite well off at home, because my parents did whatever they could to give me what I wanted. Even if it means you get it at the end of the year, they say, okay, maupasile, you'll get it, you know. Yeah. But to me it was fine, so long as I get it, if it's a PlayStation or whatever. First 6 months, or no, first 3 months of the first term of varsity, I couldn't get my results because I hadn't paid, you know. And to me that didn't make sense. And you know, it was a shocker to me. And then my friend was like, look, these are the requirements at Deloitte, focus, pass well, and you'll get a bursary. And God willing, I put my head down, I did my best, I got that 70 or 80 average that they needed. And they actually repaid my mom the amounts that she had paid for the first 6 months. So effectively I was sponsored throughout university.
So just to stop you there, sorry, because I'm just picking up, that's when you had to really learn resilience and tenacity, because you're saying you put your head down and you had to focus. How has that helped you in corporate? In terms of, I feel that women struggle. I'll share my personal story. Within corporate climbing, this corporate jungle, it's a bit tough. You get in, there's a gentleman's club, right? Do you think there's something that we can do better? How have you set yourself apart from your peers?
I think for me, you need to understand yourself first, right? you need to understand your competencies, you need to understand what makes you distinct. You need to understand how that contributes to the broader team. So I believe a lot in diversity. And once you understand what you bring to the table and what makes you distinct, then it doesn't become a woman or a black or a white conversation. It's about this person's bringing value to the table. And I mean, if you look at the results and the stats, they say that the boards or the management teams that are the most effective are the ones that have the most amount of women in them. So clearly there's a lot of value that women bring. And for me, I think it's about you as a woman understanding that and being prepared to provide that to the workplace. Sometimes you find that women don't appreciate that about themselves and don't appreciate the richness that they bring, and they just try to be part of the gentleman's club.
Instead of changing the narrative.
Instead
right?
of changing the narrative,
That's
because
true.
you're bringing something
That's
different to the game. And another thing that I always preach to my fellow colleagues is to say, whenever there are discussions that women are having, it shouldn't just be a woman's discussion, because then our mindset doesn't change if we're not included in those discussions. So I also encourage my colleagues to say, guys, let's have these discussions. If there's a women in leadership course at Gibbs where I'm studying, let's also join that discussion, so that it opens our mindsets as well. Yeah.
That's very profound, and I think also it speaks to mentorship and coaching. I'm very lucky to have a really good mentor who helped me within corporate, within my corporate, and still today. How important do you think mentorship is in coaching?
Yeah.
And I guess that touches into Get Ready.
Yeah.
And why Get Ready? How was it founded?
Yeah. I wouldn't be where I am today without any mentorship, to be honest. So for me, mentorship is it's not a what's the word? It's an evolving it's an evolving thing. So it's not like today we agree and we sign on a contract and say, I'm going to be your mentor, you're going to be my mentor. It's the learnings that you pick up. So for me, mentorship started at home. There are lots of values that I picked up from my parents at home. The first official mentor that I would say I had is a lady called Tanta Swafu, who's still my mentor today. She was an executive at KPMG where I worked at some point.
Wow.
She's now an executive.
So hold on, executive mentor, you're throwing it out there. If someone is looking for a mentor, that's a bit daunting, isn't it? Like, how did you secure that?
So for me, my story was quite interesting, because I've never looked for a mentor, but we were in a session and I was contributing and I was sharing my views, and she liked what I was sharing. I didn't even know who she was. Then she came to me and she said, look, I like your way of thinking. I'd like to assist you and groom you and shape you into a future leader, and which she has. And I've got a lot of other individuals that, whether or not I call them mentors, but they play an important part in my life, because we've got different aspects in which we need mentorship or guidance. And it's a social aspect, it's a technical aspect at work, it's a business entrepreneurship aspect, it's a religious aspect as well. So you have different individuals that play different roles in your life.
So true.
That contribute to you being a well-rounded individual. So absolutely important.
And is that why Get Ready? Because I know you said that your brother was very intelligent and struggled to sort of find a job. I mean, that's why, Get Ready, mentorship, coaching. Because I can take it back to my university days where you studied just for the sake of getting that degree. You thought you were the ish, and then you get into corporate and you have to literally start at the bottom, right? So I think, if you can just further elaborate on why Get Ready.
So Get Ready was founded by myself and Oletilwe, a classmate of mine at Gibbs, where we realized that we're in a very opportunistic and very profound situation where we've got all these classmates who want to do good, but they don't really know where they can share their skills. So we created Get Ready Skills, which is a mentorship program for unemployed graduates, and we focus on essentially empowering the graduates to be able to earn an income. And that could be in the form of employment, or it could be in the form of them going the entrepreneurship route. And how we do that, it's by working on their thinking. So they are technically sound because all of them have graduated in their respective disciplines, but we work on their thinking, on the problem solving, the critical thinking, adaptability, them appreciating diversity that you just mentioned. You know, so if you attend our Get Ready sessions, you'll see that more than half of our mentees are females, you know. So there's the diversity coming in there. And when we put them into groups and they work on the case studies that we give them, and the case studies are based on work experiences that we found, and work challenges that we found as the mentors, the mentees that get to wrestle with those case studies, the teams that they're in are very diverse teams. The accountants will be with the lawyers, with the marketing people, with the psychologists, because there's the richness there when they debate the solutions based on the different perspectives. So that's how Get Ready came about. It's been 3 months, but of the 21 odd mentees we've got, 18 of them are going to be employed.
Wow!
We're just working on sorting out.
In 3 months. That's amazing.
God has been really good to us. We've got really good companies that we've partnered with: PPS Foundation, Varsity College, Massmart, Alan Gray, who are our key sponsors.
Yes.
So we've been really blessed by sort of the progress that we've made in the
That's
field.
amazing. That's amazing. So lastly, Manqoba, you're doing so well. You're doing your MBA. You're a senior manager at Deloitte. I mean, what are your future plans? And like, what is your secret to success?
I don't think I'm successful yet, hey? And I was once at a session where a gentleman I respect quite a lot is actually my friend's dad, Mr. Jabu Mabuza. And he said that, you know, you shouldn't live a life of success, but focus on your purpose. So if every day of your life you feel like you're living your purpose, that is enough for you. And for me, starting Get Ready has given me such a fulfilling feeling that it beats any amount of money that I could get. So I don't know what the future holds. I'm happy at Deloitte in case my employers see this. But whatever I do, whether it's at Deloitte or whether it's through Get Ready, I now know what my purpose is, and my purpose is making a difference in other individuals' lives.
Wow.
So whatever it is that I'll be doing in the future, it sure will be making a positive impact in someone else's life.
Wow, it's such an honor to have you on the show. Like, such a privilege.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm sure our viewers have learned quite a lot. Lastly, if someone wants to help with Get Ready in terms of sponsorships, or wants to employ some of the, you know, the graduates or other graduates who want to be part of the program, how do they get in touch with you?
We've got an email address. It's www.getreadyskills.co.za. We've got a Facebook page, it's at Get Ready Skills, and we've got a Twitter page, it's at Get Ready Skills.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again.